Good morning. This is the last block for Inside Tennessee on a Sunday morning. Talking to Dr. Richard Briggs, a Republican senator who is the incumbent for District Senate out of Knox County, and District 7 rather, and Bryan Langan, who's his Democratic challenger. Gentlemen, just one last question in regards to the abortion issue because it is so big. Bryan Langan, would you be prepared to introduce legislation if you're elected? And Dr. Briggs, would you be introducing legislation if you are re-elected? And let's start with you, Dr. Briggs, are you thinking about legislation you'd specifically introduce if you are reelected?
I don't know if I'll be introducing it because there's already a lot of work being done, and there's other Republicans in the legislature, and some of our Democratic colleagues are also. I think if we end up with a half a dozen bills that are almost saying the same thing, but I just will say that I'm working very closely with some of my Republican colleagues to work on some of the things that I've talked about that I think that we should at least consider in a bill that would be terminating pregnancies.
And Bryan, what about you?
Yes, if it's not from me, I will definitely work with my colleagues to pass a bill to repeal the Human Life Protection Act, the abortion trigger ban that my opponent voted for. And I don't need to say I would consider or that many people feel that there are things that rape and incest should be exceptions. No, I feel that needs to be an exception. And I'd like to point out when he says that was back in 2019, well, I'll just go along. In 2021, he also voted for SB 1370 that states that for the purposes of this bill, a person will be deemed to be conceived at the moment of fertilization, which goes with him speaking about the moment a woman becomes pregnant. He also voted for SB 2281, which was the telemed abortion ban, which prevented women from getting the Plan B pill from a telemed appointment. So I feel like he has pretty much made his stance clear, and I don't like all the ambiguity of many feel and maybe, or I'll consider these things. I'm telling you flat out, I will work to repeal that abortion ban.
Dr. Briggs, we've got about a minute and a half left. If you want to respond to any of that, certainly, since he's brought it up, feel free.
And legalization.
And Dr. Briggs, if you want to respond, go ahead.
To the telemedicine bill, there's been a lot of talk about where women can get the pills by mail or they can get them by telehealth from some doctor out of state. And as you know, as a physician, I think that every woman needs to have her doctor. And, particularly the pill that you use can work pretty well and be moderately safe, very safe, even up to about 10 weeks of pregnancy. But these pills are being prescribed now at 11, 12, and 13, 14 weeks. And women can have severe bleeding. They can have retained products of conception that require a physician. And when you're doing telemedicine for something like this, particularly the health of the woman, I did vote against that bill because I think we need to protect the women, and women need to have good health care.
Gentlemen, we appreciate both of you being on. It's Inside Tennessee. The next election is November 8th, and we'll see you next Sunday.